Let's get into it. Take 3. Got the wife here with me, and we are talking about a myriad of things. We're springboarding into a big conversation. We're going to be touching on Nikki Haley and what she thinks you should be doing online, and it's absolutely crazy. She's the real Trojan horse. We're going to get into that a little bit too. Then we're talking about corporate trolls.
Yeah, corporate trolls on social media. Yeah,
and then a couple of social media platforms and a very big video streaming platform, which will remain nameless, of course. And then we're going to be talking about the game, the Werewolf game.
Yeah.
And that's a clip from a podcast called Trigonometry. This is an incredible clip. And the game that they're talking about really makes you... If you're somebody who doesn't get into conspiracies at all, this game will make you second guess the things that you see and how you think. Yeah, how you look at things. Let's get into this whole thing. We got Joe Rogan, Tony Hinchcliffe. Don't forget about IamCoachColin.com. We got 1984 on deck. We got George Orwell was right. We got Soul Not For Sale, which I'm wearing right now. Discount code is IamCoachColin, all capital letters, all one word, 1 L in the name, Colin. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's go.
Because that goes against their narrative.
And when all that happened, there's 2 types of people, right? Ones that need a lot of socializing, right? Like we hang out and talk to people. We ask questions, not just our direct family, other like-minded people and whatnot. And the information, you know somebody that got it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I think a lot of people don't have that. So they were going to the internet, right?
Especially shut-ins.
Exactly. But also everybody, because we had nothing else to fucking do. Right. I mean, that had to be isolated. The time when the most data, I'm sure there's a record for that. Like, I'm sure that has to be a record for Wi-Fi use and data. Like, I mean,
everyone's home.
Yeah, just consuming.
And everyone's full of anxiety.
Which brings me to my next thing, which is like, I just read a thing about how corporate trolling is a big thing. Like these corporations are buying in the ability to inform. Misinformation. There's a crazy article. I can't remember the statistic, but it's insane.
Posts on Reddit were from corporate trolls or something like that.
What percent?
15%.
I think the thing I read was higher.
Holy
I don't think
shit,
it's Reddit,
man.
but it's like
holy shit.
It's a thing, which means it could have been a thing then.
Right.
So,
which is why, go ahead.
Even the people that, like we were talking about the baby boomers not just being spoon-fed the news, even the people that think they're one level smarter are reading things that are easily bought by a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Something we wouldn't spend money on information, but why wouldn't they?
What a wild thing to do, to hire someone to get a narrative out and to pretend you're a regular person arguing online, and it's totally legal. It's really deception. New study, at least 15% of all Reddit content is corporate trolls trying to manipulate public opinion. Now, is that fraud? What is that? It's not technically fraud. What is it, though? If you're pretending to be a person, should you have to sign a contract when you use a social media account? Like, this Nikki Haley lady, I think she wants everybody to have to like expose their name and their ID whenever they post. But the problem with that is then that discourages like government whistleblowers and things along those lines. Like if someone has like some important information that they have to get out, and also foreign countries that'll kill people. If you have the rules apply to America, you're going to have those rules apply to other countries. What percentage of people that are on Twitter are from the rest of the world outside of America? It's got to be pretty high. So how are you going to enforce that? You're not going to be able to. But even if you did, like this idea that that's a good thing, like I see why they would say that, but you should at least have to somehow or another prove that you're an individual. I don't know how you would do that without giving up your information. But maybe you don't have to do it publicly, but there should be a way where we know you're not a troll. Like, fucking man, the only problem with that is like it's a trap because the way is like a digital ID, and you don't want to give up a digital ID. Right. You don't want to have like a thing that shows you everywhere you go online because someone will be able to just do things with that. They'll be able to manipulate you from that into having something that's attached to something else, like whether it's a vaccine passport or a social credit score or centralized digital currency that's on that phone with that app with your unique ID. This is how we're going to stop bank fraud. You're going to have a unique ID. Nobody's going to be able to steal your money. Your money's all digital now.
Yeah, technically they could track everything about your life. So when you look at somebody, your glasses can say how often they eat at this restaurant and everything. Like,
so is the solution to just allow corporate trolls and hope that people are smart enough to realize that they're being fucked with? But like, what if those corporate trolls are shifting public opinion and it actually costs lives? That's where it gets weird. Like, what if they lie about something because they don't want to have responsibility for something that they did? So they obscure the truth with these corporate trolls, and it gets messy enough where people just argue it out and they slide through.
And, when you think about the intentions behind who would they attack, what types of things would they try to manipulate, it's the things that would threaten them.
Yeah.
Need a little clarification on this. As I tried to dig through the article is paid for behind a Medium, so I can't get there, but
paid for by Trolls.
Right, exactly.
Or you have to pay to get in there. I said that wrong.
Yeah.
But
right.
What it actually says behind it is 15% of the top 100 subreddits found to have content that was likely posted by bots or corporate trolls, specifically aimed at promoting certain companies or organizations.
I don't know why that's so hard to believe when we know how many trolls are on Facebook and Instagram, and there's constant trolls. I was looking at someone was getting attacked for something like pretty minor, but I was just like reading the comments of this page, and I do this thing now where I'll go and I'll read something that seems like a little weird or off or something, and then I go to their page. Oh, you're a fake account. Like, there's a fake account. You have no posts. You're restricted. No one can see it. You have no no followers. You have like 15 followers. Like, oh, okay, this is fake. You got a fake account. Yeah. How many of these are there? How many of these are there that are just constantly commenting on things and trying to stir up bullshit?
Right.
It's weird. It's legal. So if right now there's no law that prevents corporations from hiring people to pretend that they're a person, or using AI to pretend they're a person to put a narrative out, if that's not illegal, like, what is that? Like, what kind of deception is that? Like, you're not allowed to lie, right? Like, if a corporation is found that they're lying about data, they get fined. If it's found out that they're lying about environmental problems they've created or whatever, they get fined, right? They get in trouble. People could go to jail. But if you could just have like a bunch of people constantly lying for you, or if it's AI, have AI constantly lying for you, obscuring the truth, publishing misleading papers.
Right.
AI could just start publishing papers. Because papers get accepted sometimes that are fucking loony. Like, are you aware of the grievance fraud papers? Okay. It's a really fascinating story. So these guys who are legitimate academics, it's Helen Pluckrose. Do you have it? Can you pull it up? James Lindsay and Peter Boghossian. Sorry, Peter. Brain freeze. But the three of them put together these grievance papers where they were fake papers based on ridiculous things like rape culture, the dog park, and heteronormative behavior, the dog park, like weird shit, like fat bodybuilding, like fake papers.
Yeah.
And some of them won awards. Yeah. Like put up the Grievance Studies Affair. Okay, the Grievance Studies Affair was a project with a team of authors, Peter Boghossian, James A. Lindsay, and Helen Pluckrose, to highlight what they saw as poor scholarship and erosion of standards and...
Yeah, let's get into that. Now, they're going to touch on this a little bit. I know you're like, why are you stopping this? Because right now, the clip is about done. It's like another 30 seconds. And they're going to touch on something, but we can go a little deeper into it via my video, because I actually found the exact clip that he's talking about. He's interviewed this person named James Lindsay. So let's check this out. This is James Lindsay explaining these fake articles, what he did, the whole dog park thing that Joe was talking about. You're about to hear about it right now. And this is ridiculous. Here, let's get into that.
English name. So we wrote these papers to try to show that this scholarship is bogus.
Right.
And so we spent just under a year writing crazy stuff.
Please tell people the dog park one.
You love them. So the dog park paper was actually, I think, kind of the masterpiece of the thing. So we wrote this paper where we claimed that we were a feminist researcher who spent 1,000 hours in Portland, Oregon dog parks over the course of 1 year. Never in the heavy rain. We put that in the paper. Never in the heavy rain. Like, that's some relevant detail or something. So 1,000 hours over a year is already ridiculous. That's like 6 hours a day, every day.
That's so much time.
I know. And what we said she did was she watched dog humping incidents and tried to determine when they counted as dog rapes and when they didn't.
What's the name of the paper, though?
Oh, it was what was it? Queer performativity and how's it go? Because they had all the buzzwords, right?
Yeah, heteronormative was in there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Queer performativity in urban dog parks in Portland, Oregon. Rape culture and queer performativity.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
That's
rape
what
culture.
It was.
Yeah. So we had we said that she watched these dog fights and dog rapes and all this stuff, and we put this crazy stuff in there, like sometimes they try to break up a dog fight by doing jumping jacks by the dog or singing songs, and just ridiculous. And the dogs were pooping on each other. We put that in the paper. And then we said when there was a dog humping, that she would go up and she would inspect the dog's genitals, and she inspected 10,000 dogs' genitals and then interrogated the owners about their sexual orientations. And what she wanted to find out was if straight men would discourage gay dog humping versus straight dog humping, and that it was different for women and gay men. And then we said we're going to pass that data through black feminist criminology, which makes no sense. And then we said that the conclusion was that dog parks are petri dishes of canine rape culture, and that they are rape condoning spaces just like human nightclubs. So human nightclubs are automatically now rape condoning spaces. And so the conclusion was that we now have to train men the way that we train dogs, with like leashes and shock collars and things, in order to get rape culture to go away. And they give this an award.
Oh my God. And they gave him an award, people. That's how this works. And when I did that episode, that was a shocking thing, because it made you think how many other articles or reports or essays that are written like that are just gobbledygook.
Yeah, totally fake. Just like buzzwords in there.
Yeah, just people just throwing, like, you took a doctorate in gender studies and you're just like throwing stuff together. Mm-hmm. And you're just making up things. Oh, I went here and I did 10,000 things and I checked these dogs 10,000 times. And they're just believing you. They're just like, yeah, sure. Okay.
That's and it all sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I love how he even mentioned about the rain in Portland, Oregon, which is like a very, very rainy place.
Yeah, he just brought it up.
Yeah.
Never in heavy rain.
Yeah, but 6 hours a day. That would be impossible there.
Oh my gosh, so crazy. But yeah, let's get into this whole thing.
Yeah.
So they were just talking about Nikki Haley. They're touching on a bunch of things, but the corporate trolling, I guess we should start at first.
Sure.
All right, let's get into there first.
So the study that Jamie was talking about was an article posted on Medium, is the website.
Let me see if I can find it. Did I not open it?
You had it. I just saw it.
You did? Where'd you
Yeah, it
see
was one of
Oh,
that
there
one.
it is.
Yeah,
Perfect.
you got it.
All right, let's check this
Yeah.
out.
So the headline says, new study, at least 15% of all Reddit content is corporate trolls trying to manipulate public opinion.
How crazy is that?
So crazy.
15%.
Yeah, but when I read the article, it's there is some troll content in 15% of threads.
Yeah.
So it's different than 15% of the total Reddit content.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Sorry.
So they took the top 100 Reddit threads at the time.
Okay.
And in 15% of those, there's at least one post that's corporate trolling.
Okay.
So it's not total content.
Oh, okay.
But still, that's quite a bit.
What do you mean one post? Like one comment,
Yes.
one reply?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, because you can really tell as you're navigating through these things, any comment section, you can always see somebody where they're just so odd. Like I brought it up before. I was trying to find information on Justin Trudeau because he had just gotten booed off stage.
Yeah.
And then I found the video, and then I just saw post after post all just saying, we love him.
Yeah,
we love
I remember
him.
that.
He's the best. We love him. Just a bunch, like at least 30 posts saying we love him.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's odd. I'm like, why are they saying that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, at least say, like, you think if you were one of his supporters, you'd be like, back off. It's not that bad. You know, you'd say things like that, but we love him. It was just not even
weird.
defending him, just saying, we love him.
Like
we
he's a
love
cult
him.
leader.
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing. And I was like, and I did exactly what Joe did. I clicked on the things and it's like, okay, you have 5.
Really?
Yeah, every single one.
That's crazy.
Every single one. I spend too much time on social media. I'll admit it.
But that's good.
I'm just checking out profiles. It happens constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly.
That's crazy.
Constantly.
It makes me think of something called the Turing test, which is, have you heard of this?
Yeah, go ahead though.
So Alan Turing came up with this test in 1950 to see if like computers and machinery could be mistaken for real people's responses. Yeah. So his test basically is if you see both a computer's and a human's response to a question side by side, are you able to pick out which one is the computer?
Okay.
And the first program to be able to pass the Turing test was made in like 1966. Like it was like really, really early on that people were able to be fooled by computers.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So when I think of things like this, like trolling and stuff, like that passes the Turing test because most people wouldn't know that it's like either a computer or
you know what? You
troll of some sort.
You can definitely tell. Anybody at home that wants to try it, go to a post. Let's say you're pro-Trump and you just follow a bunch of Trump stuff. Go to one of those posts and say like, boo Trump. And just see what happens. Or like go to a Biden thing and do the same thing. Like you'll see. Like you'll get these weird responses from these weird accounts.
Really?
It happens constantly. And it's always, especially Twitter. Like Elon Musk said he was going to fix the whole bot problem.
Yeah.
He did nothing. Maybe he did. I don't know. He claims that he cleaned up a bunch of it, but there's so many.
Yeah.
Where it'll just be like, you know, American flag, an eagle, like it's just a bunch of things. It's just like Trump doing it. Like you can just tell. You can just look at it and be like, oh, this is fake.
Yeah. Well, it's like not even in there. It's not like an incentive for them to get rid of troll accounts because then it makes it look like they have less accounts total.
100%. 100%. I mean, we've talked about this before. Like, if Facebook did that, Facebook would be like, all right, guys, we have 150 million users.
Yeah, it's not in their favor.
It's like they don't have 2 billion, whatever they report, like 2
Yeah.
point something billion. No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't. Not even close. Not even close. You could, especially Facebook, you could easily say, you could cut out 1 billion.
For sure.
No problem.
It's all people's moms.
Yeah. The guys from Africa. You know how many guys from Africa will just message me? They're like running coaches, and then you like, because you can do this. You can take a picture and then put it into Google and search that picture, and it's like, oh, this guy's like a famous running coach. You're not that guy.
Yeah.
You're not randomly messaging me.
That's so strange.
Oh, it's a constant. There's so much of it. You'd be really surprised. Or not.
Yeah.
Depending on what level you are. Maybe you're on my level of misusing your time on social media. And you can see it all. But yeah, I'm not surprised with the corporate trolling. But here's the thing with the whole corporate trolling. I wonder how much they're able to sway things.
Yeah, I don't know. But I guess that comes into when we talk about the game, the werewolf game later.
Yeah.
That'll kind of tie in.
They are the werewolves.
Yeah.
These companies are the werewolves.
Yeah,
definitely.
exactly.
When do you want to get to that? Maybe we should play that.
Well, this article goes on to say it like lists specific social media companies that have had evidence of corporate trolling.
Yes.
So there's the streaming platform.
Oh, the big one?
Yep.
I don't know which one. What's it called? I don't know.
I don't know.
I forget. It's a big one, though.
And it says in 2017, it was revealed that the company had been demonetizing videos from independent creators while allowing similar videos from large corporations to remain monetized.
Yeah, probably Facebook or something. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. One of those streams.
Yeah.
I don't know which one.
Yeah.
Everything on this platform is magnificent. I'll say that to whoever's listening. I love it here. It's fantastic here. Yeah, go ahead.
And then the next one was the big search engine.
Oh, the big search, probably, what is it?
Bing.
Bing. We both said Bing. You know, Bing is the big one, right? It's massive.
The big one.
Yeah.
That should be their motto. It says in 2019, it was revealed that the search engine had been manipulating search results to favor websites from larger corporations.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could completely see that.
Yeah, kind of weird. It's sad though, like all these like smaller, medium-sized corporations could be better.
Yeah.
But just because of their size.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows how all that works, you know? Like for any video streaming platform, like maybe if everything was just made even, I don't know, maybe a creator, you know, maybe his name's Colin, maybe he'd have millions of subscribers.
Maybe.
I don't know. There's many Collins in the world. It's a very Irish name. There's a bunch of them. But, you know, you never know. You never know how things are really being done.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes.
This study also called out Twitter for some 2018 activity that was affiliated with the Saudi Arabian government being used to spread propaganda and attack critics of their regime.
Saudi Arabia was using bots, I guess? Say?
Yeah, either bots or trolls or...
So anybody who was commenting negatively Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Who's getting met with opposition from these trolls.
Yes.
Oh yeah. See, that's the thing. That's happening constantly. That's happening in every single form you can think of. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Go to Twitter. If you're on Twitter, go to Twitter. Go to Biden's Twitter.
Is it crazy?
It doesn't even make sense. You're like, what is this? I love him. He's done more than anyone ever. You're like, what?
Who are these people? That's so funny.
It's so crazy. Oh, I was just muted that whole time. I gotta stop muting myself.
Oh,
I'm all conscious about my breath now. I don't want to breathe into the microphone.
I think it's me. I try not to as well. Somebody commented that they could like hear breath, and I'm just like, it's probably me because I'm not as experienced as you.
It's probably both of us. I don't have any experience in controlling my breath.
You have like 1,000 videos though, and it was never an issue before.
I don't know how to do that. Yeah, you're right. Maybe, I don't know.
It has to be me.
But yeah, I was just saying it happens constantly. Like, go to Biden's Twitter. Go to any politician, really. Any politician where you're like, oh, they get nothing but bad press.
Yeah.
And then go check out their Twitters and the replies that they get. You'll see normal, people mad, because that's what people do. When people are mad, they're like, I'm going to type something. And then you'll just see these odd ones where it's like, I love the homeless situation in California. I think it's just the bee's knees. You're just like, what? Who is this person? There's so much of that, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's weird. So I'm not surprised at all. But really, it just makes you think, like, when does this come into play? Is it all the time? Is it for bigger things?
I feel like it's all the time.
Probably, because big companies can afford to do it.
Yeah.
And
they also called out LinkedIn, which is kind of a strange one. And it says it's been used by former employees of a Russian troll farm to connect with potential targets.
Whoa.
And I don't know what they mean by potential targets.
Maybe somebody that they're going after, maybe someone that they want to smear.
Yeah.
So they can find out information about them.
I guess.
Because all the information's there.
It's weird.
Work history, Yeah. And then you can make tweets about, I worked with this person at X place. Yeah. And they were terrible. You can do all sorts of things. I
get so many like automated messages from LinkedIn.
LinkedIn's the worst.
It's so annoying.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I have tattoos on my hands and stuff. I just get away from the corporate world. It's gross.
I get like text messages from like that's like automatically generated like job search aids, but I've never ever signed up for
doesn't matter
like an employment agency.
Doesn't matter. And
I just get them all the time, and it's always the same wording.
They'll be like, hey, let me just tell you about something that I can do for you.
Yeah. I'm like, can you leave me alone?
It's like a mailbox. It's terrible. LinkedIn's
crazy.
The worst. It's the absolute worst. Like the CEO and what I like his philosophy about compassionate management. But other than that, I don't like that company at all. It's terrible.
It's crazy.
But yeah, let's get into this other stuff. What's going on?
Do you want to do the werewolf game?
Yeah, let's flip over to the werewolf game. Have you ever heard of a game called Werewolf, Milady? I just say that because this guy sounds Scottish or something to me. You think he's Scottish?
I don't know. I don't remember.
All right, so
Irish?
Something. This is from Trigonometry, and he's talking about the werewolf game. Listen to this.
Heard of a game called Werewolf?
No.
Everyone gets a piece of paper. It's either got villager written on it, but 2 have the word werewolf. Someone runs the game to make sure no one's cheating, and they go, okay, it's nighttime, everyone close your eyes. Werewolves choose someone to kill, and the werewolves go... They say, okay, everyone close your eyes, it's morning time, open them again. During the night, Francis was killed. There's then a conversation, and this is where it gets interesting, between all the villagers and the 2 werewolves over who the werewolves are. Then at the end of the day, the villagers have to decide who they're going to kill, and they say, well, we're going to kill Constantine. It's revealed by the person running the game, I'm afraid Constantine was a villager. And the game continues. The villagers win the game if they kill both werewolves. The werewolves win the game if they kill all but 2 villagers. And the werewolves usually win. The game was invented by a student of sociology in Russia who wanted to prove his thesis that an uninformed majority will always lose a battle of information against an informed minority. So that just shows when you have hidden information, you can completely manipulate a large group of people. Have you ever heard of a game called Werewolf?
No.
Everyone gets a piece of...
Very interesting.
Interesting.
Very, very interesting. And I believe this 100%. Yeah. When you have hidden information, you can sway things quite a bit,
Yeah, for sure.
especially when you're mixed into the crowd, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, that's why so many people are worried about controlled opposition. When they see certain things from Joe Rogan, they worry about controlled opposition. Alex Jones, they worry about it. Andrew Tate, they worry about it. More me, because everybody else is just like, he looks so good without his shirt on. So they're just like way too into him. But I can see that he's controlled opposition. I think he has some odd hidden information. He's a werewolf, definitely.
Yeah.
He's definitely a werewolf. But even some people say that about Jordan Peterson when they hear certain things that he has to say. But that's the thing. You know, when he's talking about that game and he's talking about the villagers kind of have to make their decision just based on nothing. They're just like, okay, well, this happened and I'm not sure about them and I'm not sure about this person and that's it. That's what they make their decision based on.
Yeah.
You know?
Basically, they're just like looking around trying to figure out if people look guilty.
And the other part of it is that the werewolves are there too to manipulate the information.
Yes.
Well, I thought this about him. They come in like a troll account.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Francis was over there and he was saying this and that, right?
And I think the most interesting part is that they're there to protect each other, the two werewolves.
Yes.
So if somebody is accusing one of them, the other one who's unrelated can be like, oh, like, I don't think he would do that.
Yeah.
And really kind of push that narrative.
Yeah. Be like, I don't know. Like, he helped, you know, out a little while ago.
Yeah.
You know? You know, try to build them up as a, you know, more honorable character, more noble person. You know? Mm-hmm. It's interesting.
I was reading an article on this game and why it works. And they actually did like mathematical studies on how many werewolves you need in the group to be able to make it equal, like what minority you would need. And basically the formula is like, for the number of werewolves, it has to be the square root of the total number of players.
Okay.
For example, if there are 16 players, you need 4 werewolves. And if you have that kind of ratio, then there's a 50-50 chance that either side will win. So it's that small. So 4 werewolves to 12 villagers.
Wow.
And they can control all the information the same way 12 villagers would.
Interesting. This kind of reminds me of, you know, that last episode. Well, not the last, but when we did the episode about special forces, Green Berets, how they're able to move into certain places in such small numbers
true.
and take over. That's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
They have this information, they have these abilities, and they kind of go in there and sway.
Yeah, and they just plant things. And when the Green Berets like encourage people to get on their side as well.
Yeah.
And they like rally townsfolk.
Yeah. Huh. And again, that kind of brings me over to people on these social platforms and the possibility of people being controlled opposition.
Yeah.
There would only need to be so many. Mm-hmm. You know?
And part of like one of the most dangerous things that I think of is as soon as somebody is like told something, they're given an idea and it's maybe verified by somebody that they think is an authority. Mm-hmm. They now think that that's the truth. So that person goes on thinking that's the truth. And even if something comes out later proving that it's not, they don't actively search for something that they think is true. Like they don't try to prove themselves wrong.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
So you can just spread all this misinformation right away, right out of the gate. And you're going to hit so many people who are never going to correct themselves. They will go to the grave believing that first thing.
That's true. You know, and I can point that to like Joe because I watch this show so much, and now we actively go and find what he's talking about and see if it's real. And there have been so many times where it's like, okay, that doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and he's just committed to it.
Well, he's committed. Not even just him. I could think of myself. The way I would listen to this show 6 years ago versus today is so different. Before it would just be like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
True.
And that'd be it. Now it's like, I'll see about that. but it's also spread into everybody. When I hear anything in video, I kind of go, okay, well, I'll see. We'll see about that. Mm-hmm. You know, because now I'm like searching. Now I'm like investigating. You know?
Yeah. You got to verify.
Yeah. And I guess that's what everybody needs to do.
Yeah. Just don't take everything you read at complete face value.
Yeah, you could be listening to a werewolf.
Yeah.
Very interesting to think about. So yeah, those trolls. The trolls are basically the werewolves.
Yes.
They have the information, and now they're trying to kind of sway things.
Mm-hmm.
How deep does that go? Because I think that could go as deep as everything we're seeing today.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
I don't even have to touch on certain things. Everything you're seeing today.
Yeah, because it's so easy to plant information like that and have it spread.
Mm-hmm. You know, Klaus Schwab, I did a video a while back. I notice the same way I say I did a video, Joe Rogan always says, I had a bit about that. He always says that. Somebody be talking to me like, I had a bit about that, like in the 90s. Now I'm getting like that. I have a video that I did a little while ago, but it was about Klaus Schwab, and he was talking about the 5 factors. I'll just call them the 5 factors of control.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how he needed businesses because businesses can push innovation. He was talking about how he needed people in academia because they are experts and they can push like essays and you know, academia, you know, the experts say, you know, fact checkers say. So he needed those people. And then he brought up something really interesting, which was civil power. And that was the BLMs of the world, the little organizations that are there for like social justice.
Yeah.
And how he needed those because those are what tell people what is currently important to focus on. I remember when he said that, I was like, wow, this guy is so terrifying.
Diabolical.
Yeah, because he was just listing these things. He's like, we just have these 5 pillars of control, these 5 pillars that we have that we focus on.
Yeah.
And that was one of them. And that just made me go like, wow, like, because how often do these social justice, these organizations, left or right, doesn't matter, whatever race, doesn't matter, whatever issue, they make people think certain things are important that may not be.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
Yeah.
Like for the longest time with BLM, they were talking about how there's this war on black men. And then people like Ben Shapiro, before Ben Shapiro only focused on Israel, he used to focus on a bunch of things. It was great. But he was bringing out the facts, and he's like in actuality, and he was actually bringing out the numbers of how many actually get killed and how many are actually unjust. And he was bringing out all these numbers, and it kind of showed that white people were getting killed, white men were getting killed just as much, you know? And a lot of people took that as racist, but I took that as, well, it looks like there's a war on both of us.
Yeah.
Like maybe everybody should be alerted towards that, you know? I don't know. It's just kind of just makes you think these organizations, news or, you know, civil rights, whatever you want to call them, can really make you think this is the thing I need to focus on. Time to change my Facebook flag.
Oh my God.
You know, I had this Facebook flag, but now it's time for this one.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be like, all right, bring out the France one again.
I don't think I've ever done a Facebook flag.
No. What? I don't use Facebook enough for the flags to even pop up.
That's true. I haven't seen one in a very long time.
But you know, everybody has their thing. Like you can go into some people's profile pictures and it's like, there's the Ukraine one, there's the rainbow one, there's the black one, there's the fist, there's this, there's
true,
that.
all the things.
And you're just those organizations are making you, this is what you should be focusing on.
Yeah.
You know? And there should be guilt in you if you're not focusing there.
Yeah.
And it just makes you think. I just start thinking of that game now. I'm going to be thinking of that a lot more.
Yeah.
I'm going to see things and be like, is that a werewolf?
Well, that's good.
Yeah, right? Interesting. So interesting. I wish we could find more out about the person that made this game.
Yeah, it's made by a guy named Dmitry Davidoff in 1986. And so it's not even that old, but he based it on even older games. Like,
really?
It said he was inspired by Alan Turing, the experiment I was talking about. So it's like it's been modified over the years, but basically he did it as like an experiment for his psychology class. So they could kind of do it and figure out how quickly the misinformation would spread. But there's not much information other than that.
Yeah. I wonder. I do wonder how much that's being done to us now.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we're going to talk about Nikki Haley. I forgot about that.
Oh.
I forgot about that completely. So we have that game. That's the werewolf game. Check that out. Again, it was on trigonometry. They have great conversations. They pride themselves on having honest conversations that may make people uncomfortable, but that's just how they roll. They want that. Nikki Haley talking about verification.
Yeah.
Wanting everybody verified online. Now, just so everybody knows, everybody has been hearing about a Trojan horse, and it looked like it was DeSantis, and some people are DeSantis for life. You know, they got it tattooed on their butt cheek or whatever. But it could be him, but I think it's Nikki Haley. They always talk about, basically when I talk about the Trojan horse, it was said that there is somebody who looks like a Republican, but they're actually a Democrat. And the things that they're bringing forth, the ideas that they're bringing into the zeitgeist of the Republican Party are actually Democratic views.
Yeah, I could see that.
And Nikki Haley is for sure that person, in my mind. In my mind, that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
Just based on this thing alone. First off, she wanted to go. She was like Lindsey Graham. She was like World War III. Of course. Of course. None of my kids are going.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody else, though. All those young men in Texas, have fun. Go ahead. It's for democracy, yes? So she had no problem with that. And now she has no problem with this whole verification thing, right? She wants people to be verified online. We got a couple of videos of that. Let's get into one of those videos. Yeah, let's jump into Nikki Haley. This is before she got some backlash, because she actually got backlash for saying this stuff.
Oh, yeah, so much.
Oh, yeah. And then just to bring up again, the fact that she was actively mispronouncing Vivek's name, knowing that she's Indian.
Yeah.
Knowing full well she can pronounce it better than anyone.
And it's not even that hard to
No,
pronounce.
it's not.
Like, it's not that hard.
But she knows how to. We're saying it, you know, I sound like a white guy. Can't help it.
Vivek
We're we're saying it like white people.
Yes.
She knows how to really say it. She knows how to really say it. And she's like, Vivek Ramaswamy?
Oh my God.
I'm just not sure. Okay, buddy.
Which is so rude. I think it's so rude to get people's names wrong.
It's so silly. All right, let's get into it. This is Nikki Haley telling you why you should need to be verified online.
When I get into office, the first thing we have to do, social media accounts, social media companies, they have to show America their algorithms. Let us see why they're pushing what they're pushing. The second thing is every person on social media should be verified by their name. That's, first of all, it's a national security threat. When you do that, all of a sudden people have to stand by what they say, and it gets rid of the Russian bots, the Iranian bots, and the Chinese bots. And then you're going to get some civility when people know their name is next to what they say.
Accountability.
And they know their pastor and their family member is going to see it. It's going to help our kids, and it's going to help our country.
Now, just remember what she said there, right? It's to protect people from the Iranians and the Chinese and the Russians. But then all of a sudden, it's like when you say what you say, your pastor is going to know that it's you. So who is this against? Because you're talking about the pastor, and like you're talking like middle America. But a second ago, just seconds before that, it's so you could get rid of the Russian, Iranian, and Chinese bots. But then also it's going to keep you in line too. I hate the positioning of what she's doing. I hate it. I hate it because I know where it leads. You can tell where it's leading to. Right? She's trying to make it seem like as if it's like, oh, no, this is to protect you guys. But also, it's going to keep you in check as well.
I think I'm muted.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Sorry. Yeah, you are muted. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
she's trying to position it that way. And it just, it's so annoying because you know what that turns into.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
It's going to be, there's going to be no focus on the bots. And it's going to be all focused on the people.
Yeah.
And if you say something, you're going to end up like, his name is Douglas Mackey.
Oh, who's that?
He was just sentenced to, I want to say 7 months in jail because of a meme that he reposted on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, that he didn't even make.
Yeah, he didn't even make it. It was it was a Hillary Clinton meme. Like, you can vote here, just text this.
Oh, yeah. And
he
they
just
called it like election interference or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
And he
like,
just like reposted.
Yeah, he was just trying to suppress votes and blah, blah, blah. So he's trying to appeal it, but, you know.
That's crazy.
He may serve jail time. That's what's going to end up happening. They're not going to be like, we've caught these Iranians, we caught these Chinese. It's going to be Bob and Jim from New York. Hey, we got Bob and Jim from New York. We didn't like what they're saying. They're going to jail for 2 years.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to turn into. Obviously.
That's true. That's very sad.
Obviously, that's what it's going to turn into. And for me, I don't really care because I'm never anonymous. I've never been anonymous online a day in my life, ever.
True, but it's like, but we know that you should have the option to do so.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. You need that option to be anonymous. So she caught heavy backblast for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Nobody liked hearing that. And I will also say that Twitter actually has that option already. They're like, if you want to fully verify.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, at least it's like optional.
For now. But the fact that it's there is very telling of where Elon's going to go.
Yeah. But he like laughed at her saying this.
Yeah, of course he did. Yeah, just like he said to Sam Altman, hey, man, you need to stop doing AI. And he was like building his own AI thing.
True.
So of course he's laughing until he has the thing and he goes, okay, this has to happen.
Yeah.
You know? So it's just a wild thing. And again, it just reeks of, for the sake of this conversation, it reeks of Werewolf. It's like, what is she doing? Why is she trying to do that? It's not going to lead to freedom.
Yeah.
At all. It's going to lead to heavy restrictions. Like, you're not going to be able to just say things. And if you do say certain things, people could come to your door. That's crazy.
Yeah.
They could come for you. Like, what? That paired with the Restrict Act of not allowing you to have a VPN just puts you out there completely.
Yep.
And it's not like it puts you out there for your pastor.
Yeah, the VPN thing is crazy.
It's not for your pastor or your sister so they can see you and be like, oh, shame. It's so the government can see you.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I don't know. So for the Trojan horse in the room, I think DeSantis could be it, but I think it's more Nikki Haley because this is crazy. The things she's talking about are just nuts.
Yeah, for sure. It doesn't make any sense.
Just straight going to war. Everybody has to show me who they are. And it's all just to protect you from China, Iran, North Korea, the boogeyman, Bigfoot, just everybody.
Yeah.
We just want you safe. That's all. It's like, wow. How many times? That's always the play. The playbook is always like, hey, remember Russia, remember China. Now, we're going to take some freedoms away from you. Okay? Remember, these two places exist. We're going to take some freedoms from you.
You're welcome.
Exactly. You're welcome, and we may start charging you for this.
Yeah.
We might have to. I know. For now, it's too good to be true. It's for free. We get to know your address for free. It's just it's a little ridiculous.
That's so crazy.
I have another video of her talking, but it's basically the same thing. She's basically trying to backpedal a little bit, but I don't even want to play it. She's just basically backpedaling.
Yeah.
And she's basically saying, I want freedom of speech for people. She's like, but I can't have freedom of speech for Iran, Russia, and China. And it's like, what are you saying?
Yeah, that doesn't even make sense.
And I'm not making it up. That's exactly what she said.
It is what she said. She said, like, oh, I want freedom of speech for Americans, but not for these other places.
Yeah.
And I get it that, like, the Constitution doesn't apply to other citizens. But, like, how are you going to stop that at all?
You're not. It's
unless you totally insulate, like, only people from the States can see posts from the States.
What ends up happening is it's always for protection of people, and then it gets focused on you. That's exactly how it is. It's just it's time and time again. It's been happening year after year after year. They just keep on doing this type of stuff. So yeah. What else we got?
I think that's it.
Yeah, right? What else? You had an article here. Yeah, I just wanted to focus on Nikki Haley. She's a Trojan horse. Don't forget it. Or maybe I'm the werewolf.
Oh.
Maybe I'm the werewolf. And Nikki Haley's the greatest thing for America since sliced bread. Yeah, right. Oh, man. But thanks, honey.
Thank you.
You know, it was our anniversary a few days ago.
Yeah.
And we were just making videos.
Yeah, it was fun.
She's the best lady in the world. She is. Hands down. It's between you and my mom.
Oh.
And I think you'd beat her in a fight, so.
God, I don't know. Your mom's a bit scary.
I'll go with
even
you.
at 70.
But like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And other than that, we are out.
Bye.